Sir, Indian PhD students versus Swedish PhD students who work harder.
Definitely, doctorate in Swedish or European universities is much harder.
The next question is ChatGPT in classroom. Is it end of engineering thinking? Hi friends, welcome back to Sri Siddhartha School of Engineering podcast. Today we have one more special guest with us. Before we get into the fun stuff, the scuba diving, the keyboard, the 15 plus countries, let's talk about the man behind the passport stamps. Dr. Nadakatti sir, academic journey leads like a roadmap of India's engineering education itself. He completed his engineering in Dharwad, then moved to Mysore for his postgraduate studies and stayed on there for his PhD as well. But here is the twist. Decades later, driven purely by passion for learning, he packed his bags again, this time for Sweden, for a postdoc. In his mid-40s, when most people are setting into routine, today he carries almost 3 decades of teaching and research experience, both in India and abroad. He is closely connected with top-ranked universities in China and Sweden, including a near-decade-long research collaboration with BJTU Beijing. Work so impactful, it was personally recognized by the Chinese Consul General in Mumbai for his contribution to Chinese high-speed rail research. With 59 international publications and 15 papers in 2025 alone, plus a JICA Japan VLCI certification in flow management. None other than our principal of SSIT, so Nadakatti sir. Welcome to the show, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Okay, sir. You have traveled to different countries, so I just wanted to keep this podcast for a comparison of Western education system with Indian education system. The reason is most of us will gonna compare this system as well as the system. So like grass on the other side is always green. So like everyone says our education system is more of theory oriented and like Western education system is more of practical oriented. So like what is stopping us to get into the practical education system instead of theory education system? Because everyone will gonna tell that is practical, this is theory. What is stopping us?
In one simple answer, it is numbers.
Okay.
What I mean numbers here is, straight away we cannot compare Indian education system with Western education system. Western in the sense the numbers are very low and there they can afford to go for practical oriented, project oriented, industry oriented, industry sponsored projects or courses. But in India, for every course that you consider, look into, we have huge number of students who are participating into that, in those courses or enrolling into those courses. So conducting project oriented courses or industry oriented ones or sponsored ones goes very challenging. So there are two different platforms you are looking at. One is Western education with limited numbers, with unlimited or maximum or high number of resources. Indian education system with very high numbers with less resources. Okay. So these are on two different platforms, I must say.
Okay. Like whenever we compare foreign education system with Indian education system is more of rote learning. Means like we use it to mug up and we use it to reproduce the same thing on the paper. Like when it comes to compared to the Western education system, it is more of critical thinking. Though we are into rote education system, till we succeed in foreign, like whenever we move to abroad, if you take the strata of like 100 best Fortune 100 companies or 500 companies, the top CEOs are from 100. So like we are getting the yield out of rote system as well.
That's because precisely the answer here lies is in competition and the numbers. Again, it comes back to number and the competition. In India, for anything to everything, you have huge competition. Be it with respect to some admission, be it with respect to some elite course, be it with respect to some elite institute, or for that matter, any job. You have got huge competition. Unless you succeed in your field, you will not be able to get into what you want or at the level what you want. And naturally, when these people go abroad or say America, UK, Australia, wherever you say, suddenly the numbers come down. And we have already excelled in our own backyard. Having competed with such extreme level of competition, we have excelled and we are going abroad. Automatically, it becomes a cakewalk for our people. And that's exactly the reason. And there it is a necessity. Please, one thing needs to be understood here is, it's a necessity for us to become excel ourselves in some field, chosen field. Not so with respect to the people who are living abroad. They have the lavish lifestyles. They are already having enough money. They don't, and their family burden is very less or almost nil compared to us. So we have got a family to look back. We have got to build our fortune. We have got to take care of our expenses. So it makes us work even harder. First thing, we are having a competitive skill set in us. Second thing, we have that mindset to become ourselves more competitive or do better jobs than my comparators or my counterparts. So when you go abroad, automatically your level is much higher, or it definitely competitive compared to those who are locals. So as you can observe in almost all the fields abroad, wherever Indians are, or even for that matter Chinese as well, I must say, I must compliment Chinese also. So we always, especially with Indians, so most of the companies, as you rightly pointed out, the top executives are all from India, and they are all from majority of the top Indian institutes.
So, like, most of the middle class and upper middle class families, especially parents, are there on toes, okay, to send their kids to abroad, and they will gonna spend at least 1 to 3 crores. So when their kids go to abroad, so is there a rational thinking behind it, or just relieving their anxiety out of sending the students to abroad?
Uh, there are many aspects to sending a boy or a girl to going abroad. It could be with respect to societal, because my brother is there, because my sister or someone else, my family friend, they have gone abroad and I would like to send just to showcase my status. That is one part of it. But there are many other people, students who are going abroad for the sheer passion to learn something new and excel themselves or earn more money. Is of course, yes, when you go abroad and study definitely and get employed there, you will get a handsome salary, which is not the case here in back home or in our country. So obviously, there are multiple aspects to the question that you have asked.
Okay. And like, if you want to buy one thing from abroad, and if you want to keep one thing from Indian education system, what is that?
With respect to education system, if I want to buy something from abroad, that is definitely the highest standard of the curriculum and the industry connect. Absolute, no doubt about it. As far as Indian knowledge system, Indian education system is concerned, definitely we have good credentials, good subjects, good curriculum, but only thing we need to have is depth in those over a period of time, which was not the case earlier. I'm referring to 70s and 80s syllabus in the curriculum, which was strong, 80s, 90s. And over a period of time, for whatever the reason, there are good reasons are also known. So maybe in our discussions, I will highlight those points as well. The curriculum has to be strengthened over a period of time, which can make us even more competitive and better in our own chosen fields, be it medical, be it dental, be it with engineering, be it with science, arts, commerce, you name it. Unless we improvise on our curriculum, which is strong, I must say. See, our people excelled during 70s and 80s when they went abroad. Almost all of them are now heading those companies or in the senior positions. Reason being, they had a very strong foundational subject knowledge, both at the school level and at the college level, at the higher graduation level. But over a period of time, sorry to say that the quality or the curriculum level has come down. The reasons are many. If time comes up, I can open up that.
Okay. Sir, you have traveled to 15 plus countries. Like, when you travel to different countries, like somewhere down the line, you're going to feel that this country's education system is good. Maybe USA, UK, or Nordic countries, or Canada, Australia. Which country education system is good? And like, if we are a student, like just passed out of graduation, if I wanted to opt some country, which country is good?
I have my own opinion or view in this regard. Each system is good in their own backyards, in their own environment. See, you are trying to compare apple with a guava or a mango or other fruit, I must say. You cannot do that. When you are saying Western education system, say it's US, Australia or Europe, there and compared to Indian, again the numbers comes in picture. So what is good for US may not be, in fact, definitely not good for India. And what is happening, what is being practiced here in India cannot be implemented there. In toto, we know we have got best of the best universities in US. We cannot replicate that here. It may fail utterly. Because ultimately, what do you mean education system? It means what is the level of funding that you have? What is the kind of curriculum that you have? What kind of faculty do you have? What kind of students do you have? Then the question comes whether the students are interested to have they come here of their own, or is it because of their parental pressure, or is it because of their friends' pressure, or is it because somebody is there in that field, or it is because of family backgrounds. Definitely these are the questions. Same is not the question there. They are learning, they are into the education, they are learning some particular, that is because their passion. They don't have a compulsion to study that. It is by choice. But here in India, it is by compulsion. So this big difference, compulsion and choice, is an answer for your questions. Which, coming back to the question that you said, which one is better? Definitely, each one is good in their own backyards, in their own countries. Say Swedish or European education system is definitely has its own set of advantages. It is very well structured. American system is too good, no doubt. People are following all accreditation. UK, you have got ABET accreditation. accreditation systems. Then you have got Washington Accord. In order to, what we are doing here is trying to get everything and convert that to our convenience or our suitability and try to elevate ourselves. I must say, come somewhere nearer to those. It is not possible to exactly match one to one, but definitely we are trying to emulate to some extent whatever possible and the best of both the worlds, Western world and the Eastern world. Our education system, no doubt, it is deep rooted. It has got 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years of history. So, and our scholars have proved it, throughout the world. Our scholars have been well known over the centuries and the millennium, I must say. So there is, I don't see there is anything flaw in that. Yes, over a period of time, last 30, 40 years, the curriculum has dwindled, maybe because of the numbers, because of expectations, high expectations, and return on investments, then decisions by the stakeholders. All these things have made or caused that slight decline in our curriculum structure. If we can address this and balancing both, see, we have to manage we have to balance. Balancing is the key word here in our education system. We have to balance the societal needs, the governmental needs, and our own personal needs as well. So we have to balance all these things and then come out or try to come with a syllabus which caters to all these things.
So you had been to Sweden, so you have seen the surface level of education, means top level of education, and like rooted education system, like we always use it to hear that like in Finland and Sweden, like 1 to 7 years means like till 7 years they will not going to imbibe any curriculum to the student. But
True.
now in India, the education start from second year or third year. Like whenever we ask our friends like who are into corporate world, they're going to say that like we have put our children to daycare. So in 2 year, 3 year, and like from third year the competition start. So how it will going to differ?
I beg to differ on this count. It is over anxiety of Indian parents, I must say. Instead of giving what they want at that particular age, you are trying to force feed them something else which they are not interested. They are not ready, both physically and mentally. So unnecessarily you are playing with their minds. It's nothing but over excitement and your affordability. These two things are killing our opulent, I must say. Not all people are doing like this. Only that opulent or class of people who can afford these things are trying to force feed a child or just about a 18, 20, 22-month-old baby into daycare, and of course their own professional commitments also, because in 2000s now onwards, last 5-10 years, both husband and wife are working, so it is a challenge for them to upbring their child at home, like unlike us where we had at least one of the parent back home. Normally the father used to do the job. In most of the cases, I'm referring 70s, 80s and the 90s that I'm referring to. I come from that era. But in today's times, it is both professional commitment, personal commitment, professional commitment, financial commitment, and also this added to that, your affordability and over-excitement. So probably these factors are killing the child's psychological, physical, and mental development.
Super, sir.
Yeah.
So like I just wanted to take an example over here. So if a student studying in Harvard versus student studying in IIT, who struggles more to settle their life?
Obviously, the answer is the IITM.
Okay.
There's no doubt. Question comes, IIT exam is attempted by nothing less than about 5 to 8 lakhs. I don't know what the present year, this year, 25, 26, 26, 27 statistics, but roughly I can say, even if then 5 lakh people are attempting 5 or maybe even much higher than that, and the number of people who qualify for IITs is not even in lakh. It is much. It is not even 50,000 or 10, 15 to that too, because now you have a few more IITs. Earlier, when you refer about 2010 before, you hardly had 5 or 6 IITs. And the total put together, all the numbers were less than about 4 to 5,000 numbers. So you are one among those 5, 8, 10 lakh students who appeared for IIT, JEE, mains, prelims, and then finals, right? And one among those top notch. And having competed with that class of students, again you are entering portals where competition is even stiffer because there are other students. You're competing with them. So when you get out of the IIT, definitely you're one among the best in the world. Because entire world put together, the number is less than what IIT students go through.
So this is out of the box question. Like 40% of, according to recent data, 40% of IITians are unemployed. So if IITians are unemployed, like think about tier 2 and tier 3 colleges. How to fix this gap?
First thing, I don't believe in this data that 40% of the IITians are unemployed. The reasons could be many. Many of the IITians go for independent jobs. They don't depend on your job. They have independent thinking. the IIT has given them that strength, that confidence, that ability. That's the difference between IIT and any other institute, because they are self-capable. They are going, they can go out of their own, they can start something of their own, and they have success stories. You have many IIT success stories where they did not depend on the job in the first place. They came out, they had their own idea, they had some final year project, they went abroad, got that initial training or maybe some work they did, the experience, they came back and started something of their own, out of the box thinking. That out of the box thinking, that challenge, that ability and that courage comes from the IIT that you get into. So when you say 40% of the IITians, I have a severe doubt about credibility of this 40% people not employed. That could be. Reasons are many. Not necessary. He may not be interested in going for a job. He may be interested in going for IIM. He can go for an MBA or he can go abroad. Many of them are going abroad. So they are settling there. They are studying for their master's program, PhD programs, and they may be employed there as well. So that's the way I look at it. I strongly credibility about 40% this.
Okay.
You have to check the statistics, source, data source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, like why I asked this question is like we linked with peer pressure. Like most of the institutions or coaching institute right now, if you go for quota or somewhere else, so the era like which you are entering into IITs were different, because each IIT used to taken care by different countries, Russia, USA, UK, all these countries used to taken care of one IITs before. But now what had happened, like students will gonna get into quota, so they will gonna go for rote learning, like they will gonna mug up everything, and these are the type of questions will gonna come, and like whoever have a good memory, they're gonna crack it and they're gonna enter the IITs. Okay, that's the reason, like maybe some data has been like picked up. So this may be the reason. So I have read it somewhere else. So that's the reason this question. Because this was more scary for me as well, because I'm taking care of the placements as well. When we are taking care of the placement, like when we look at this kind of data, when IITians are unemployable, like what about our college? So that's the reason, like I wanted to hear from Arthur's mouth. So I thrown this question for you, sir. Okay. So like when it comes to like teaching fraternity, foreign teacher versus Indian teacher, who respect their students more?
I would definitely say a Western teacher, a foreign, I'd say America. At least the experience that I have is a Swedish teacher, a Swedish university, Chinese university, and UK university settled in or from Oman, Glasgow, Caledonian. This is the experience that I have, and my experience definitely says these universities, even including Chinese, they have the highest respect and connect with their students. No doubt about it. They are almost like their kids. That I can say. So right from the day they get into the campus and they get enrolled or they get in connect with this professor, he is almost as good as their family member. He is more than a family member. That I can say.
But like always the numbers are like Indian education system, like we imbibe the culture. That culture is nowhere in the world.
Again, the numbers comes in, sir. The number here for a Indian school, a typical school teacher or a college or faculty like me, I'll be facing 60 to 70 students in one of the classrooms, and daily I'll be engaging with 120 students or say 150 students on an average. And I've got another 2 or 3 labs. I'll be facing another 150. So for me, identifying few students among them, developing connect with them on a one-to-one basis on a daily thing is almost impossible. So same is not the case with the Western or the European universities, where the numbers are hardly 30, 40. Each faculty has got the maximum 3 or 4 or 8 or hardly 5 or 6 PhD candidates are working under him, and there are about 10, 20 master's program students, and majority of them are online. So they have that one-to-one connect. So that develops a big bonding on them. Build in the, and most of the time they are staying in campus. Here in India and in majority of the cases, we don't have in-campus teaching learning processes. Majority of us are staying locally in our cities and go to our institute, and our job is from 10 to 5, 8 to 3, likewise. After that, we don't have connect. But there the connect is with both faculty and the staff, students. They stay within the campus, they get connect with themselves, not only during the class hours, even during off times and then weekends. So they have more bonding.
Nice, sir. Like if you want to compare Western classroom with Indian classroom, like as you said, like in India, there is no constructive criticism. Whenever like we stand up and like ask question very assertively, not aggressively also, like teacher is not in a position to accept it. Because most of the teachers, I'm not telling like all the teachers, most of the teachers. So why this constructive criticism is not to the full extent in India compared to Western education system?
Why? Because our teachers are not equipped. As simple as that. They don't know the answer. They are really equipped. They are not trained themselves. If they are not trained enough, they don't have the proper training skill sets required for that particular job that they are doing. And otherwise, there's nothing wrong in receiving some odd question for which I don't have the answer, but I should also have the courage to say, I just don't know, I'll get back to you by tomorrow or day after.
Super.
Okay. I have that courage, I can speak. But those who don't have that inborn skill set, those who don't have that required skill set for that particular profession, they don't have that courage to say. So because of that, they fail in this answering the questions, and there is a disconnect with the students. And some of the, as you rightly said, few faculty may not take it in the right spirit to receive the questions from the students. They can ask, see, after all, they are students, right? Out of 10 questions, let us assume 2 or 3 could be just to trouble you, just to make you corner you as a faculty. They want to corner you. But at least out of 10, there are 7 genuine questions that I must address. Out of 7, I may know 3, 4, not necessarily. Even I may not know 7 also. Who knows? That depends on my skill sets. But the change or a thing that I need to have is, I should have that basic skill set one, and I should also have that courage to say, I don't know. I'll get back to you tomorrow or day after.
So, like, who produce better engineers? Who produce better human beings? Western education system or like Indian education system, or both?
Definitely, Western education is producing quality engineers, but it doesn't mean that we are producing average engineers. Our numbers are so high that our quality engineer number automatically drops down. See, when your denominator is so high, when we speak in denominators in terms of lakhs, but the Western university denominator is in terms of few hundreds. Please understand, entire Swedish population is 90 lakhs. Entire Sweden has got 90 lakhs, which is the population of our one city. One moderate city like Bangalore has got a higher population than one entire country. So you cannot compare these educational systems and the student strength, student numbers. In this, out of the 90 lakhs, how many are attempting to the university degree? How many of them are coming out? That number is very, very, very small. And obviously, they are quality engineers. So the denominator is low, numerator is high. Out of 10 students who are in 100, let us assume, European universities, 100 universities are getting enrolled, and 90 of them are coming out. They are all quality engineers. But in our case, you are speaking in terms of lakhs, crores, right? The number of students appearing for our 12th exam. How much is that number for this year? How many number of engineering graduates are coming out? And question comes, how many of them? These are running in few lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs of engineers per year, say 1 or 2 states here. Out of them, those who are employable, those who are creamy layer, those who are just pass out, they don't stand anywhere. And this top class percentage is, say, let us say, out of some few 5,000, 8,000, 10,000. When you say 10,000 divided by 1 lakh, automatically our numbers drop down, or the percentage drastically comes down. So we must look at that a holistic way. It is not that we have an average or a bad engineers, or our numbers are low. Quality engineer numbers are low. Yeah.
So, like, you are a licensed scuba diver, you are keyboard player, as well as you are a yoga practitioner, as well as gym enthusiast, and like you have published 15 papers in a year. How will you going to prioritize the things, sir? Like, where do you get so much of time to prioritize for so many things, diversified way of approach?
I must say, whatever you said, thanks for that. But one thing always keeps me focused is, one is discipline has to be there all the time. Discipline and the word impossible. Somehow you don't allow that to creep in your mind. Impossible always has that element word possible. So use that. Don't use this I am. Keep that possible. Instead of saying impossible, you say it is possible. So once we start working on that, you have a time to do all these things. It is persistence. I was trained by Japanese expert, Professor Shoji Shiba and Mr. Furuhashi San. So both of them, one who was aged 88 when he taught me, 85, 86, 87. And another gentleman, Professor Shoji Shiba, I was trained by him for about a year and a half on a month after month basis. And his assistant, I must say, his disciple, his guru, shishya relation, Furuhashi San. So both of them are leading exponents of flow management system from Japan. And they were on an assignment here with the Indian CII, Confederation of Indian Industries, as a part of collaboration between JICA, Japanese Industrial Cooperation, JICA, JIICA, JICA, JIAC, I think, and then CII as a part of that consortium, and on a invitation by the Indian government, by the special invite by Dr. Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam, they were here to train our industries to imbibe that Japanese skill set. And when the question came, why only industries, it has to start from the educational institute. If you train the educational institutes, or the teachers get trained Probably the students will get trained and that will come to our industry. This is how the flow worked. And I was handpicked for that, wherein I underwent a rigorous training for about a year and a half. And then I cleared that courses, what is called as a VLCI course, Visionary Learning Community of India.
Super, sir. So, like when you are talking about 88 years old, something was lingering in my head. That is, there is a book called Ikigai. Like this concept is like longevity, means like how to live for more than 100 years. So, whatever you quoted, like whatever is important is discipline in life. So, in the same way, like if you want to imbibe something Japanese thing into a society, so what you will gonna imbibe into a society, sir?
Uh, Discipline. What I look at is, if at all I want to change something, if at all I want to give something to my institute or my university, what I would like to do is, what I would like to look out for is a sense of belongingness, discipline, and feeling proud about oneself. If you are here for some reason, you are a faculty, you are a professor, you are head of the department, you are a coordinator, basically you are an engineer, or maybe non-teaching or whomsoever. When you look at what is your role, we should be proud about what we are representing, what class of people we are. We are trying to teach a student, we are trying to teach our prospective engineers. So we have a large responsibility on our shoulders. So we should act sensibly for that, and we should be responsible for the outcomes. So for that, and we should also inculcate these things in our students. So first and the foremost for that is definitely discipline is the key word here, I think. Discipline, honesty, and believing in oneself. Okay. I can do it. I will do it. No matter, I may not be good. Not necessarily with respect to your intelligence level, but whatever I do, I have to do it with my level best. No looking back. Later on, there are no regrets that I did not do.
So, like if you go to abroad, there is a tight link between industry and academia. And when it comes to India, this gap has been widened. So that's the reason there is less patents and less R&D work. So whom you will gonna blame? Is it industry or academia? So why this gap has been widened and there is no quality of research work?
Multiple reasons I can quote. Again, throughout my discussion, I am referring to numbers and compared to Western education systems or Western industry. See, in abroad, industries, they fully rely on educational or universities. All their problems, there is a very direct one-to-one relation between industry and academia. Here we don't have one-to-one relation, primarily because there the student number is less, good funding is there, and the industry believes in the capability of the universities, the professors. They give the problems and get the solutions, and they implement and see that the progress or the whatever is done by your research, in your books, in your publications is used for my product, my service, or my activity or my industry. So straight away they lift it, they fund it fully, believing that. And they can do that because their numbers are less. They have enough money. They have excess supply, less demand. With respect to supply in the sense finance. They have a lot of money for research. And percentage wise, there is a good amount of percentage of money that is kept exclusively for research by industries. Same is not true with Indian industries. They don't believe, not majority at least, majority believe in the ability of our Indian researchers, Indian community, Indian faculty, and their Indian schools and institutes. I'm not just referring to engineering, I'm not just to medical or restricting myself. I'm referring to universities per se, be it with science, arts, commerce. So our research abilities. Now, another thing that we look at is how long the industry can sustain or support Indian students, because our numbers are very high. How many industries do we have here? Say, let us say I'm speaking from this small town, Tumkur. Tumkur is a good hub for industries. Tumkur is close to Bangalore, and we do have some good number of industries here close by. But how many Tumkurs are there in Karnataka? There is one Tumkur here. There is one Hubli Dharwad industrial belt. There is one Belgaum industrial belt. And there is one Ballari over there. And there is one Mangalore. Across, this is at least I can, maybe one or two here and there, smaller ones. Mysore, yes, accepted. Apart from then, tell me, how many other districts have the industries? And all these cities have engineering colleges or the medical, dental colleges and the hospitals, right? How many patients are there, or how many hospitals, or how many facilities do you have where you want to send your engineers for training? And how many of those are funding your research or project? Please tell me, how many of the industries have the ability to fund you? They're all busy with their own manufacturing, their own balance sheets, which are shrinking day by day. Their percentage margin is low. They have got their own set of problems to address with, and they have least time and fund for your research and research activity, which in turn they are going to get benefited, no doubt. But they don't have time and money to spend on this, and we don't have long-term vision. In India, we are looking at a short-term vision. My this year's turnover, my this year's productivity, my this year's output, and this is my product range, or this is my profit margin, and I'm answerable to my management. So in this cycle, and I have very limited resource for me, I don't have time enough to spend on your students for giving internships or for giving jobs or training, graduate training. I've got many other questions to address for my management. So not all, there are some good ones. There are corporates which are supporting R&D activities, definitely yes. But compared to our numbers, those there is a wide gap between demand and supply. Okay. Exactly opposite than when compared to Swedish or the European or American universities. American universities are funded. Entire university runs on funding. They don't need any governmental. They don't have. Please understand, there is one concept, I don't know, not many of people are aware. You may be surprised, the listeners may be surprised. If at all I'm engaging a class in a Swedish university as a faculty or as a division head, I have to pay for the rent of this classroom. Please know that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Gentlemen, you may be surprised that Middle East universities, they produce 3 sets of engineers per year. 3 sets. We are producing 1 set of engineer. We have August to June, year after year, and year after year, in the June you come out with 1 set of engineers, graduates, or for that matter, BA, BSc, BCom, whomsoever. Per year we are producing 1 set of engineers with the same capability, same infrastructure, same faculty. Middle East colleges, Middle East universities are producing 3 sets. Oman. How is it possible? Yes, I worked in Oman. How is it possible? You have a regular working, batch, like our routine engineering batches. They work from 8 to 2, 8 to 4, 1. You have a 4 to evening, there are working people, working class of people, they go for their jobs. They don't, because they could not afford engineering during their school days or later on because of the financial constraint, they joined their jobs. Later on, during the job, they do offer the flexibility. You work up till 2 o'clock, 8 to 2, and then you go home. Evening 4 to 8, we do conduct classes for you. In India, we did have, sir, in one of the engineering colleges, I remember I come from one, I don't want to name it, they had an evening engineering course. Later on in the recent past, last 20, 30 years, I think it is stopped. Otherwise, we had some engineering colleges where they were offering evening engineering course. And this evening engineering course is suitable for those who are taking up jobs in the daytime. They earn the money, come back, evening they attend your engineering course. So another set is produced. Then where is this third set coming from? Third set is coming from our vacation period, which has about April, May, June period. Okay, they have a shortened course, same course, but from morning till evening, they are made to undergo. If you are interested, you can go for it. There's no hard and fast rule. So by end of 3 months, you'll be coming out with another set of engineers. Believe me, this is how the 3 sets of engineers are coming out in these universities with the same infrastructure and maximum utilization.
So this is more interesting for us. Like you have attended more Chinese conferences.
Yeah.
So like one unique thing about Chinese conferences which you have attended.
Absolute discipline, timeliness, and workaholics. The workaholic, it is impossible. Not just in academics I'm referring to. I had moved around shopping places and other areas, tourist spots, wherever I go, whatever the work I look at, it is done with the only number I can say is 100% efficiency. And yes, there is nothing short of what we can say. And if there is any efficiency word, definitely it is with these set of people from my experiences China. The Chinese students are, and for them the professor is the highest order. The professor, whatever he said, is done blindfoldedly without second question asked.
Oh.
Yeah. And it is 24. The student is available to the faculty or the professor 24/7. There is no time at all. They are always on their tips. They are always a workaholic. They study well. They have the language problem. But they do have the language problem, but everything they have converted into Chinese. They have made the systems as per their needs, and they have bent, they have twisted all those systems to work as per their needs, and they are more than happy to help us. And they have got one more interesting thing is highest regard for Indians.
Oh, is it?
Absolute.
Okay. Only like we built so much of hegemony towards Chinese.
Yes. And I have had the honor of having discussion with the Chinese consulate from Mumbai. So I was honored by this Chinese consulate itself, and there is an open invitation given to me by the Chinese consulate to visit China anytime for my academic pursuits. And they're very happy that I am associated with one of the top-notch universities from China, Beijing Jiaotong University.
Sir, Indian PhD students versus Swedish PhD students, who work harder?
Definitely doctorate in US or America, US or Swedish or European universities is much, much harder. I'll tell you the difference. Here, PhD is a compulsion. So we do it whether we are interested or not is one question, and most of our PhDs are part-time PhDs. They are not full-time PhDs. Majority of us are doing a PhD as a part-time whenever we find some time in our academic schedule. And not outsiders are doing PhD. PhDs are pursued by academicians, if you observe. But there, even the industry people are going for PhDs. Outsiders are taking up PhDs. It is not necessary that they should be in the educational field. They are researchers. They are associated with some research institutes. So they are taking up PhDs. But here in India, what's happening because of the policies that we have, we are supposed to complete PhD in our chosen field, whether be it in university, be it with science, arts, commerce. If you are in educational field you want to grow in your field, the only choice is that you need to have your graduate, definitely yes. You need to have your postgraduate, definitely yes. It's a minimum qualification, and the days are not far off when PhD is also a must. Some of the universities have already implemented where doctorate is a must for entry level positions. So this difference is there with, and there it is done in the Western Union. It is done with two things. One, full-fledged funding, excellent funding you have. Second, it is full time. Second, third is you don't have any constraint of our classrooms or teaching. We don't have anything else to do. Our only focus is on our research, development, and for that any cost that is associated is taken care by the particular universities. In turn, that is funded by you're already addressing some industrial problem. So in turn, it directly gets applied. It is applied research. Much of it goes to the industry directly. It goes back to them. It is always a project. So that is what is called as a Research Council, European Research Council, ERC. Headquarters is in Brussels, if I'm not mistaken. Brussels. Almost all European universities, they have a tie-ups, they have consortiums. Say I come from LTU, Luleå Technological University. I do have some consortium of like-minded universities in my chosen area. We together, industries put up their problems to this European Research Council. It's a platform. I'm an industrialist. I have some typical problem. I post it on the ERC, European Research Council. And you people are the members of that. All universities are members. You look at what are the available, maybe it's civil, electrical, electronic, whatever the field, whatever the chosen field. And you have got those divisions. You look into those divisions and you look into what are the problems posted by somebody from Hungary, somebody from, so Norway, Sweden, some industry from so-and-so, ZEC. And then there are different areas. You have some expertise, you have some laboratory setup, you have some faculty who have some expertise. But you don't have the entire expertise. The problem has multifaceted dimensions. It needs expertise from 2 or 3 universities. Maybe somebody from mechanical is strong here, someone from electrical is strong in another university, and you have a connect, you speak to him, and together you pitch in your ideas, we are ready to take it up. But like you, there are other teams, other faculty, other universities. They will also propose their proposals, right? Industry also pitches in. Industry says, I have got 2 million, 5 million, 10 million euros for this project, and I give you 3 years time to give me the solution. And they come to a common platform. It's business. Please understand, education and university, running a university there is a difference between the way in which the university functions in Sweden or in Europe and in India. It is run like a business. The division head is a CEO. He has to look after all the finances. It is not the university pays him. He has to earn it. How does he earn? He earns from these projects. He says, he put forth, we have a team. With this team would like to take up this project, which you said 20 million. My offer is I can do it in 18 million. Someone else says 19 million. Someone else says 21. So then there is a meeting being held. Pure business. Meeting is held. You show up your expertise and your capability. Sir, I will take up 2 PhDs. I will have 3 postdocs. Next 3 years, I'm going to deliver you the outcomes. Someone else also pitches in his idea, and finally one gets picked up and you get your funding. And that, what do you mean funding? You get your 2 PhD monthly salary, you get your postdoc monthly salary out of that, and you get a funding for your research, for your whatever the equipments I would like to buy. This is how the this is how the functionality of universities are. But here we are run by managements, run by the governments, run by some funding agencies. But private funding like this is, especially industry oriented, is almost nil or negligible. Functionality is different.
Sir, I don't want to do PhD, so I'm a good teacher. So I just wanted to stay back in a teaching field. And like someone should not compel me to do PhD. So like if you are a policy maker, I'm just setting up an hypothetical situation for you. Like you are into a think tank and you are into policy formation. So will you gonna keep the thing as it is? Okay. Or will you gonna remove that mandatory PhD is not required because like some are compelling to do PhD because like that's the reason like the standard of PhDs are going down in India. Like what is your say on it?
I would definitely go for pitching for PhD, no doubt. When you want to get into education, when you want to influence your students, you need to have expertise in a particular field. And what do you mean? How do you classify? Or how do you differentiate between qualified teacher? How do you define that? So one of the parameters, not the only parameter, what rightly you said is I am only interested in teaching. But question comes, what expertise do you have that? You have been teaching the same subject or same set as a couple of subjects year after year, year after. What is that you have gained beyond that? Have you put in yourself into additional knowledge gaining in that? And yes, sir, I know the latest trends. But what is your expertise? Where is your proven track record? Yes, sir, I have proven track record. I have done my master's in that. That's why you have been employed. But beyond that, what is the next question? How are you going to influence the students? How is that learnability? Where is your learning curve? What has happened to today's times? So that is one of the characteristics that you can say here is, and to differentiate you with any other faculty or any other teacher, let's not faculty, any other person, one of the criteria that can be set aside is PhD, which is supposedly the pinnacle, but not the only end of the world. It is one standard, academic standard, where it means that you have attained certain level of excellence in the chosen field, one chosen. So you have been qualified, you are well qualified enough to take up, and you have taken up research in one particular field. But the journey, the per se, your subject may not be suitable for my students, but the journey of research leading to culminating to your PhD, that gives you a lot of expertise, lot of experience, which you can use for influencing your students how to go up in their career. Definitely, I would go for a PhD policy. Yeah.
If there are 60 disinterested students in the classroom and 10 qualified PhD students of Swedish, which crowd you wanted to teach?
Irrespective of the numbers, 100 or 10, what you quoted, I would like to teach to those students who are interested in taking up my subject, and those who have got qualification, or those who are, would like to pose me challenges. Because in the process of answering the questions, even my knowledge gets rubbed. It is going to get polished. And even I need to be on my toes. I need to get updated myself. Rather than teaching those uninterested students who may not have any interest whatsoever in the first place. They want some minimum grade and they don't have any questions. And I will not raise my bar. In fact, my bar or my ability gets reduced to their level over a period of time. Rather than me elevating myself, I will go down to their level. So I would prefer the second part, those I would like to have students, those who have got interest. But it doesn't...
that is very interesting, sir.
Yeah.
The reason is, most of us will gonna tell that we wanted to help the people who are very downtrodden.
But your question itself says they are not interested.
Yeah.
At the max, we can motivate them to one level. But definitely, again, that number is very high. Here you got 10, there you got 100, it could be more. So question comes whether how much capability do I have the time to spend on them.
Okay.
And what is my outcome? Finally, what is the outcome? Out of 100 people, if only 1 or 2 may get through with that, and out of my 10 students, there 8 or 9 are coming out with good results, and they're gaining knowledge, and they're also making me to understand my own or myself, elevate my level, probably I think I should go for the second option.
The next question is ChatGPT in classroom. Is it end of engineering thinking?
I think one of the leading executives in the recent past, last 15 days ago, he said something about this. One of the American CEO, I don't know, Apple or I don't know, somebody said, and I agree with that. ChatGPT per se is a name of an AI tool, and there are many AI tools like ChatGPT. They say it with respect to Copilot, be it with respect to Cloud, or be it with respect to Grok, or 10, 20, 100 are there nowadays. People think that it is end of the engineering, end of thinking, or it is everything, all the jobs will be taken up by these AI tools and always. I would definitely not agree with this viewpoint, where it is definitely not end of the engineering world. In fact, I have the contrary opinion. Please go back about 25 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm going back to 95, 96, 97 when the computers started appearing in our market. And suddenly we came across, in the early 90s, people started thinking, computers are coming in the market and we don't have the jobs. People will lose the jobs and almost all the work will be done by the computers. Contrary to our expectation, the jobs improved, increased, and in fact, the highest number of jobs are created in this IT/BT field. One. Later on, internet came, and say by 99, 2000, 2001, internet came, and people started thinking because of the internet, world is crashing down, and Y2K problem also came in the picture, and everything is going to stop, and suddenly the world will come to end on December 31st, 2000. Year 2000. You may not be from that generation, but I come from that, where December 31st day, and prior to that, about last 6-8 months or 1 year, people or the industries or the corporate executives spent, especially the bankers, spent sleepless nights. They thought it is the end of the world. What happened?
Nothing.
Just nothing. Things went on as normal as they were. There were some challenges were overcome. Same is the case now. Internet came and we have adjusted. Now ChatGPT or any other AI tool. Please understand, as long as there is as long as the mic that I'm speaking now, this mic, as long as a day doesn't come where by writing a code I can manufacture this right in front of me, I think I still have my jobs open, my manufacturing jobs open. As long as there is no program which can build me right now, I give a code and my building is built right next to me. I don't think we have the loss of jobs. Or I don't think end of the engineering. The lights that we see overnight, just write a code and the light is built. The mic that you have, okay, the computer that you're using, you write a program, computer is built. I don't think that day, at least, I don't foresee that. And as long as I don't foresee that, I don't foresee the situation where there is a introduction of these AI tools will be an end of. But definitely, I do accept that these are the tools. For that, using those tools intelligently is in our hands. And in order to use those intelligently, we need to have that fundamental knowledge. And for fundamental knowledge, we need to have that rigors of our educational systems, our education, our degree courses, our schooling, our education, be it anything that you say, be it medical, dental, engineering. We need to have all those skill sets developed and ask those questions or pose those questions and use these AI tools to their potential. Unfortunately, our mindset and the students' mindset nowadays is easygoing, and we are over pressurized to deliver the goods. And for that, we are using ChatGPT as it is the question answer session. It is just like our earlier school days, 70s and 80s, we had ready-made guides. People used to spend some money and get the guide, and quick answer was there. And you know what happened later on, the results of those using the guides, and what is the outcome of those students, and what is the outcome of students who learned the things in a hard way. Same way, in order to use these AI tools, we should know the basics, we should go through our course, we should know our fundamentals, we should have that right frame of questions and the right frame of ideas to pose these to the AI tools, make them work for us. It is not that we work for them, we should make them work for us. And for that, we need to have the basic skill sets, and that can only be had through our proper educational systems. So definitely, I do not believe nature of jobs do change. Yes. By the introduction of these AI tools, extensive use of AI tools, and then nowadays a rapid, additive manufacturing that we have, robotics, automation, the number of people used for employability gets reduced. But bottom line is the job definition changes. You need to have a different set of skill sets. You want to get employed? Yes, I do have the jobs for you, provided you have the skill set that I need. As an industry person, these are the kind of skill sets. Do you have that? If you have, yes. And those skill sets cannot just be replaced in toto by AI tools, say ChatGPT or any other thing.
So if you want to imbibe one Western habit to launch, so what you will going to introduce?
Just to address your question, what I would, if in my capability, if I want to make a change in our institute or in our university, what I have received from my Western counterparts or my experience in Swedish or Chinese or for that matter Japanese people, the interactions that I had, two things, absolute two things, which are very much essential for us. One is time sense, another is discipline. As far as knowledge, skill sets and all, we can imbibe, we can work harder, we can understand, we can go through the tutorials, we can go for experience learning and all that projects, and true, very much, going through the exam sessions, and we can do all those things. But two things that we need to have both, not only with the entire system, ecosystem, I'm referring to both faculty, students, everybody, what I would like to have is two things that we must have. One, respect for time of others, and another is we need to have a discipline. And we should be proud of what we are doing, and we should be elevating ourselves to that level. We should get equipped ourselves. So two basic things, time sense and discipline. It is not that these two are either lacking or less. Let me not get into that. Whatever we have, we need to go beyond that level. There are people who have been maintaining all these things. There are many people who have been following their timeliness, time sense, and they are maintaining their discipline. But overall, if we can, as an institute, as an university, if we can inculcate this in our students also, I think there is a major chunk of achievement, I must say. We are doing something good, I can say that. So people are doing it, people are following. There are people, whether you ask or not, whether someone is observing or not, they are following their own level of discipline, strictness, and time sense. Definitely yes. But that percentage, we need to improve on that. I believe in that. We need to improve on that percentage. So with a due respect, honor to those who have been already doing it, okay, leaving that fraternity, for the rest of the people, There is no excuse. For timeliness, there is no excuse.
So, like, you are a good motivator. Like, we have heard your speech many times. Like, if you want to motivate a student who wanted to get into Make in India, or like the student who wanted to move to Silicon Valley, so like which one is more easy? To whom you can motivate very easily? The person who is moving to Silicon Valley, or person who wanted to get into Make in India?
Not a straightforward question, I can say. Question comes, how many people are going abroad for higher studies? What is the percentage? Look at the percentage. It is very, very meager. See, when out of 1,000 students in our own institute, let us assume there are 1,000 graduates coming out of an year, per year. Out of 1,000 chunk of students, group of students, hardly 8, 10, maybe, I don't know the statistics, but may not be more than 10, which comes to roughly 1%. But remaining 99% or more than that, I tell you, more than that are going to stay back in my country. So definitely it is better for me to spend my, and that 1% or students who have determined to go abroad, who have that all the means, the expertise and the financial support, that even if they don't have the banks at the supporting us there, they're anyway they decided to go, right? So, and there could be some few percentage students whom I can motivate. But there are remaining 90, 95, 99% of the students who are very much going to be my clientele, my students, my industry job seekers, and they're going to stay back in here and they're going to make the living, they're going to make our living better, and they also make, they need a jobs. So I need to motivate them rather, and there is relatively easier, I suppose, compared to these people who they already set mind. They're in that class. They have decided to go abroad. They do have the means. They have the support, and anyway, they are going to.
I'm going to link this question to the previous question. We have a concept called brain drain. So, like most of our talented guys are moving out of India. Like if you wanted to build a strong nation, intellectual nation, so if so much of brain drain is happening, who will going to motivate them to stay back?
Again, compared to India, this brain drain word that you have been using, tell me how many number of engineers, how many number of intellectuals have gone abroad and settled? What is that percentage? Tell me one average percentage.
Hardly like less than 1%.
Then you do have 99%. So it's a word that you use. It's conveniently being used. Brain drain and all. Yes, there are people. They have got better opportunities, better salaries, better civilian infrastructure out abroad. Let us assume they are going. Brain drain has happened or is happening. Accepted. Question is again, as Amartya Sen said once. Amartya Sen believed in India's numbers. He says, whatever we do, for him, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the quotes he said, majority of the people think that in India the population is a big problem. We have got a huge population. Amartya Sen had a slightly opposite. He said, that is your strength. You have a good population, high population, working students. Utilize it to your strength. Use them to the max. That is the weakness for others. They don't have. This is our strength. They don't have manpower. They don't have people to do the jobs. They have jobs. They have industries. They have all facilities. But they don't have people. We have the people. We have these people. When you say brain drain, question comes, how many people are going out? How many people is it possible to go abroad? How many? That number, 100%, very much I can say, is as you quoted rightly, is much, much less than 1%. No, remaining 99% are here.
Amartya Sen has developed HDI, Human Development Index. In that Human Development Index, India stands at 132 position. So out of 190 countries, like India stands at 132. In India, like for everything, it is a walking paradox. Means like people who are talented, like people like you, sir, like who has seen the world. So your knowledge is required more in India. But like when you move out to abroad, so definitely we're going to miss something which has to be on the top. And like creating such kind of thing, it will going to take years. Again, we're going to move back to 10 or 15 years back. So how to make them retain in India?
I think nowadays you have got many people, on the contrary, last 4 to 5 years, because of the reforms that we have seen in the last 4 to 5 years, people are coming. In fact, it is happening other way around. People are coming back or coming into India rather than going abroad. If you check today's times, majority of the students, especially the ITBT people, they have seen the outside world and they don't want to go now. They are scared of going abroad and getting lost in their in their jobs, laid off midway, and they're coming back. So brain drain was happening, accepted. But I think in the recent times, maybe last 3-4 years, it has come down. I must say, we have better infrastructure and facilities here, and the salaries or the perks that we do have. In fact, in some of the circuits, in some of the fields, our perks are much better than abroad perks. There, the life is much tougher. Not everything is rosy in abroad. Many people think it's. I have seen And there was a point of time when in the Middle East, one fine afternoon in the mid-hot afternoon, 50 degrees centigrade, I tell you, 50 degrees centigrade, I was seated on a bench outside. It was at 12 o'clock, weekend, Thursday, Fridays were weekend holiday. I had everything. I had money, I had all the facilities, everything was there. I sat outside. There you have got neem tree, or, in the middle of the desert, you have got very good gardens, and there was a neem tree. And I was sitting under that neem tree thinking, why did I come here? What for? This question came to me. What for I came here? I'm alone. My family is back home. I have money. I can send in the money. I've got good food here. I can support my family. Everything. But then question comes, what for? So probably not everything is rosy abroad. There are many, many, many challenges. And those challenges are less here. We are fortunate enough, I must say. So it is to be seen from both the world. And if you want to appreciate what is here in India is better, you should go abroad. Then you will realize.
So, like, you are a licensed scuba diver. What instinct you to learn this skill, scuba diving? And like, if you want to link it with education system, like how will you gonna link it with education systems?
Scuba diving, I had seen in the movies. Scuba diving. I thought it is a much easier sport, and all I need is a set of 1 or 2 cylinders on my back shoulder pack, and then just dive into the water, and I am happy. Certainly not. It is one of the toughest sports and very expensive sport. And when I got an opportunity to go for a scuba diving testing and then training and then licensing, I took that opportunity. I'm a licensed PADI, what is called as Professional Association of Diving Instructors from US. Though I got it done in Oman, Muscat, Oman. So I could afford that, and not many people can afford it. It's very, very expensive sport. But then it gave me, once I understood, and then I started moving around and scuba dive. I did some scuba diving in the deep ocean. In the ocean, I must say, not deep, it is ocean. It's a complex sport. It is a sport which is the difference between something going wrong. If you don't know, it is a question of life and death. There is no zero, it is either 0 or 1. Either you are alive or dead. There is no in between, there is no chance also. Okay. So it's such a dangerous sport. And the passing marks for scuba diving, as I said in my discussions with you, is you are with 74 marks, I am failed. Okay. Out of 100, please understand. 74 marks, I was failed in scuba diving. I was horrified. In India, I said with pride and honor, 74 is distinction. Yeah. They said passing marks is 75. I said, what? Only 1 mark. You can always give that. No chance.
In India, we used to round off.
Round it off to 75 and make him pass. Out of 100, the question here is, why it is 74 and why not 75? Why 75 or 74 is failed? Because that's the rule that you should know, but to survive or not to get killed under water. So you should know all the rules that are regulations one scuba diver has to know before he enters into the water, because it's a pressure volume relation. Anything going wrong with your not understanding all the logistics in your hand, what are the meters that you are carrying, your depth meter, you have got a depth meter, how many feet you have gone down. Only you are allowed to go as a professional diver up to 40 feet, not beyond that. 41 feet, if your body is not used to. 40 to 41 or 42 may not make a difference in our routine discussions, but it makes a hell lot of difference. It's the difference between life and death. Okay. It is nothing more, nothing less. If something goes wrong, and what speed you descend, what speed you come up, that also matters a lot. You cannot suddenly from 40 feet come to the surface. Only the dead body will come up, nothing else. So that difference is there. And I was not knowing all these things. Okay. But then what I got in turn was a fantastic, colorful world below the water sea level. What we are seeing above the sea level, now I realize the colors that you see around is just nothing. Millions of color exist below the sea level in the form of corals, in the form of beautiful fishes. Those colors are inexplainable. You just cannot explain in words or photographs. It is a fantastic world, different world. So I am glad that I got exposed to that world. What you see in movies and all is fine. That is one level. But to experience it itself, it's another level altogether.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving so much of light on scuba diving. The reason is, like, we thought it's only for entertainment, but like so much of
it's a question of life and death. It's a lot of science is there. It's pure physics. Pure physics, pressure volume definitions and height. Then and many people contrary, they think that oxygen is being carried. Not really, it is not oxygen. It is compressed gas. It's the air, that's all. It is compressed air. So we take it and we have and always scuba is done in a couple. Never ever a single person goes for a scuba diving. It is illegal. It's not allowed. You have to go in a pair. Something going wrong with one person, the other person can take care of him and bring him back. So always have two nozzles with us, one for ourselves, breather, and another for a accidental case with the other person. There are many rules, many regulations with scuba
Great,
diving.
sir. Sounds great. Then we're gonna have a quick rapid fire questions. Okay. Like if a chance was given for you, like traditional blackboard or a smart board, which one you're gonna choose for your teaching?
I would prefer a good combination of blackboard and smartboard. I would prefer both, but a good combination, neither too dependent on blackboard. That is good method of teaching. But in order to save time, I would like to go for smartboards. And with smartboards, I can present myself in a better way with respect to drawings, with respect to presentations, with respect to illustrations. Those could be done in a better way using our smartboards. But to make the student understand the mathematical algorithms or the calculations, it is better to go for blackboard teaching.
Smartboards is also having
Yeah.
some blackboards now.
Do have? You
Yeah,
do have.
yeah. Are you an early bird or a night owl to write your research
Absolute
papers?
early bird. My
Okay.
day breaks at 4 o'clock. Nothing short of the 4 o'clock. And ends at 9:15.
So if you want to get away with weekend, scuba diving or speed rail?
I would love to have scuba diving if the opportunity exists, but there are hardly any opportunities here in India. It's very expensive and you don't have those facilities for scuba diving in our place. The only place I know here in Karnataka is Gokarna, Netrani Islands, but I have not gone there.
Okay.
No, I have not gone.
Oh, being a licensed
Scuba diver, I have not gone there because again I said, it is very expensive. You have to go spend all your 2-3 days time, then enter for that. You have to pay for it hourly basis. At any given point of time, you are not allowed to dive more than 40 minutes. You have to come back at within 40. No matter how much expert you are, maximum amount that you can spend underwater is 40 minutes. Before that, you have to come out.
If you want to describe an engineering student in one word.
Incomplete engineer. Indian. Are you referring to Indian engineer?
Indian.
Incomplete engineer.
So like if you want to work with machine or college faculty, which one is difficult?
College faculty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Machines are, we know what are the problems, we can repair them and they will obey our orders.
Keyboard music or quiet library, which one you are going to choose?
Keyboard music.
Why keyboard, sir?
I love old Hindi film songs a lot, Kannada film songs as well. And I would like to learn, which I don't know. See, I'm not a born professional or I don't have that inborn skill set to play keyboard. So this is acquired skill set. So I would like to acquire. So it keeps me awake. I need to learn many things in this. So it makes me always learn. So always I'll be on my toes to learn the new tone, a new note, new song. And whenever I complete one song, I get a lot of pleasure out of it that, yes, I've been able to play this beautiful song. And what effort, what these people must have spent, what must be their skill sets, those who have played all these things. So part of that, somewhere down the lane, I'm able to replay that. That makes me very happy and joyous.
Like 90% of the faculties, like in the education system in academia, so will gossip in the cafeteria area. So how will you going to overcome it, sir, being a principal?
It is intuitive. We should think ourselves what for we are here. Yes, relaxation is a must. I don't oppose that. Let me be very clear. We need because we are flooded with so much of work in today's times. Other than the teaching, we have got many other things also we are doing. We are coordinating, we are examiners, we are evaluators, we are question paper setters. We have got our own stressful moments. And there is nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong in having our own comfort time, comfort zone, relax ourselves with our friends and then get back to our job. So definitely I would vouch for that. Even in universities that I have worked with, your relaxation time, nobody stops you during your weekends or during your tea break. In fact, they do offer you better tea break facilities. I must say, all facilities are provided in-house. So that's the time. They say it's a productive time. You're going to discuss something. When you have the facility, go to the canteen. Gossiping is there, one part of it that comes in our blood, no doubt. But there could also be some productive work. There could be some discussion happening. Maybe I'll catch up with my professor. I'll catch up with my colleague. I may discuss about my class. Not everything is gossip. One. Second, gossip is also a must. But we need to come out of that our own stress levels. Somewhere I get I can vent out what I want. Then come back and again concentrate on my job. I think it is replenishing our energy.
Thank you so much for sparing your precious time with us. Hope so we're going to come back to our campus again and again and we can discuss such kind of ideas to the students as well as for the teaching fraternity. So people like you should throw a light on so much of knowledge and so many things. So hope so we're going to continue this podcast again and again. Thank you so much for making time in your busy schedule, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajesh. I beg to differ on your statement saying that so much of knowledge, so much of experience and all that. I'm a learner on all these things. Whatever little bit of experience I've shared, there are many more things that I've last 3.5 decades that I have passed through, challenges that I've faced. There are many things. I learned in a hard way, and whatever my learnings are there, my outcomes, my understanding, I'm ready to share with my friends, my students, my colleagues, and I'm also, as I said, a learner. So new things are to be learned by me, and in the administration role now, it's a new thing for me. I'm trying to understand the nuances, the challenges being faced, and I need a good support. And I'm learning from people like you all around. And I would like definitely to interact with the students, with the fraternity, with whatever level best I know. The knowledge can definitely be shared. I can share, and I can also get some more knowledge from others, industries. I would look forward for any such opportunity to have these podcasts, discussions, then learnings, or some faculty development programs also. I would love to host. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
So kind of you, sir. So
Thank you
it's
so much.
happy to hear from Arthur's mouth. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.